So our next session is going to take us straight to the track. You'll hear how CoreWeave and the Aston Martin Aramco Formula One team is really redefining performance and strategy in real time. So please join me in welcoming Fabricio Palati, CIO of the Aston Martin F1 team, and my guy, Brian Venturo, one of the co-founders and CoreWeave's Chief Strategy Officer, for the topic of accelerating AI breakthroughs on track. Nice to meet you. Hey, Brian.
Good morning. Thanks for being here. Everybody else seems to have a really well-rehearsed script. They know what they're going to say. They handed me slides. They sent me 10 emails. They said, look at all the monitors. Let's not do that. Fabricio, thanks for being here. I know you have a really big weekend ahead of you. There's probably people yelling at you right now that you're not there. But we're going to take 20 minutes and we're going to walk through how the hell did you become CIO of the Aston Martin F1 team? Like, what does that mean? When did this start for you?
So welcome everyone. So thank you very much also for having us. Very, very happy and proud. And, incredible location. I mean, it's really amazing. Let me say it. I'm Italian. Maybe the name doesn't sound very British. Was born in Rome. I'm Roman, which the Italian knows is the worst you can have in Italy. I don't know. You can ask my mother, my father. I was always fascinated by technology. Would be small Lego games, whatever. Would have had the first computers, and then that kind of teenager time when I started to get fascinated by Formula One, which was my passion for sport. I was also a professional swimmer until I was like 22.
You were a professional swimmer? We're going to have to test that out somewhere this week.
Whenever you want.
I want to see it.
That one, whenever you want. And then this kind of Formula One being this kind of intersection between a huge sport event, and if you're going to join us in a track over the weekend, is an amazing sport event. And then the technology part, which when I was a kid was obviously different, was the first time they were talking about telemetry. The first time that you would have seen a computer related to a car. Before, the car was just a mechanical thing, engine, suspension. And I'm that kind of generation. We are that kind of generation that we introduced the computer science into the world. The generation of our parents was a generation done of engines, mechanical stuff, turbines. We are the generation of that get the next step into the data, the computer, how we represent, how we measure, how we ingest data. But at that time, nobody was talking about ingesting data. Nobody was talking about a data center. It was just, let's try our best, let's win a race. And this is where I really got fascinated. I had the chance to study engineering. I'm an electronic engineer. Worked for European Space Agency. Then I worked at Mercedes for a long time, commercial and Formula One. I also stayed in the bank. And then I tried multiple times to applied and tried it. And at the end, I got a job at Mercedes in Formula One, the powertrain division, engines. I love engines since I was a kid. And in recent times, Mercedes was working with Aston Martin for the powertrain. And then I had a kind of move within the family, and I took over that position. There was a Mercedes, I moved into Aston Martin. And it was, I don't know, a childhood dream. I still don't believe that's my 11th season in Formula One. I don't know, I still don't believe. Sometimes I wake up and I don't understand. Today I was in the elevator with Fernando. I say, oh my God. And it's this fascination. I start watching Formula One, Ayrton Senna, I don't know if you remember, Nigel Mansell, Mario Andretti, Piedone. He was very popular in Italy. Mario was a Lotus, a Ferrari. When I was a kid, Niki Lauda was my boss. I don't know why to explain it, but it was always inside of me, this huge fascination. And then it became a job, because obviously technology evolved from the first computer to where we are now. We're talking about artificial intelligence. It's amazing what we can do now. Incredible partnership with CoreWeave that helped us a lot.
So let's talk about that, because this is the first partnership that we have where it's sponsorship of the team. But I feel really strongly that when we work in partnership with somebody, it shouldn't be a one-way thing, right? It's not. We just don't want our name on the car. And I think that what we've done is probably pretty unique, right? I mean, just last night we were sitting with Fabricio and Andy and Lawrence. We have a new team that we've brought in through an acquisition, and the gentleman that was there was basically explaining what we can do from a physical AI and engineering perspective to Andy and Fabricio. And Lawrence is sitting in his chair like this, and he's just like, yeah, okay, it sounds good. And he's not here today. He's actually at the track working with the engineers already. Is that normal for you guys to see somebody lean in like that, or is?
No, CoreWeave is something special. Like you may have seen, the car has lots of sponsors. A couple of them are not real sponsors. I mean, they're also sponsored by the technical partner. And also for that, there are different levels of being a technical partner. CoreWeave, we were discussing about, is kind of embedded in the company meanwhile. We've done already a couple of steps over the last months. And we are removing one by one all the barriers. That was one of the topics we discussed yesterday. So that in principle, we are the same company. At one point, what we as senior manager would like to achieve is that two companies are so embedded that there is no difference anymore. People are working and on very sophisticated projects. We have an amount of project that we started, that if I tell you the number, be surprised, but it's very high on all aspects of the car that goes from the engineering part, the testing part, the manufacturing, and the operational trackside, what's going to happen over the upcoming weekend. And to be very honest, it's surprising also how we've engaged, because some partners sometimes a bit more like, you get a couple of departments. We have the whole senior management completely into Formula One. Thank you very much. It's really special. I think this is your second race, coming also to Vegas and as a partner, let's say.
Yep.
And then there is so many colleagues meanwhile, because we're all working together. And if we need something, whatever level, I can pick up the phone and get it done. A very, very, very powerful relationship.
So
it became way more embedded day by day in principle.
So let me, I think it's helpful if I explain why we were so excited about Formula One, right? And everybody in the room is familiar with AI and chatbots and connecting to your email and saying, what did I do this week? Or how do I make this email better? But I don't think that the market is there yet where they're able to solve real engineering or physical manufacturing problems with AI. And when we looked at Formula One, and as CoreWeave is trying to show how is this going to impact society, how is this going to change markets, like how is this going to go help manufacturing companies or material science companies, working with Aston Martin is kind of the perfect opportunity for us, right? Is that you guys do everything from design through manufacturing, through testing, through simulation, through trackside decision making. And we want to bring our engineers in there and understand, okay, how does this happen? How do you think about it? What's the blocker? And if you walk through the Silverstone factory, which is incredible, right? You'll see that you'll have conversations with people, and they're all experts in the top of the world in their field at building a power unit or building a gearbox or understanding tire models and tire degradation, right? But they're not data scientists, right? They're engineers, and they don't have the AI expertise. And this next phase of AI adoption is going to depend upon the partners that you have to walk in and say, hey, what's your business problem and how do we help you solve it, right? And I hope that as we're investing in the partnership more, that's what you see from us is we're here to help, we're here to solve problems, right? We're here to help you deploy AI, right? And I think that over the next 3 years, that's going to be incredibly powerful. Right? And it's something that I hope that CoreWeave does, not just for you guys, but for many others in the room. Now, the infrastructure that you have, right? You guys must create a tremendous amount of data. Like you have hundreds of sensors in the car. Like how do you handle that today, and how does that change with AI?
I would say a huge amount of data gets accrued every event. So there is also a huge amount of events you don't see. The test and the rigs and the dynos, the wind tunnels, that represent more than 90% of the real data we produce as a company. We went through this in layers. I mean, Formula One tend to understand that the technology is available at any point in time. If we would have had this conversation maybe 15 or 20 years ago, it would be similar, but always on the top of the technology. There is a pretty wide understanding that the world is changing a lot with AI. The common understanding, however, is very related to the, let's say, the chatbot world. I won't say, you were saying something similar. I won't say in negative terms, but this is the way that the vast majority of the people are going to consume AI. And it's like for an airplane, vast majority of the people just check in and go for a holiday or for a trip, business trip. This is more, in that comparison, this is more an advanced F-35. The technology is still an airplane, but the technology is a completely different game. And we are working on that level for a car. The sophistication of a Formula One car. You mentioned gearbox, engines, front wings, rear wings, suspensions, front suspension, rear suspension is so high that we need to understand how they relate each other. And what do we do as engineers? We measure an enormous amount of data points. Then we build models. We run the models. We stretch the models to the maximum. We try to find sweet spots. And you find yourself with an enormous amount of data. And what's worse, with an enormous amount of dimensions. These data are multifold in dimension. There is the material dimension. There is the stress. There is temperature, pressures. And at that point in time, and it's already a decade, Formula One reached that point where you need something different to analyze those data. It's no more correlation analysis, no more metrics analysis. And this is where the collaboration started. So we have a partner that had that kind of technology. And CoreWeave is special because it's not only the hardware part, but there's also lots of knowledge on the software part, on how you implement this. And all of a sudden, we had these steps that we had lots of data and we had a few sessions together and we opened up and you say, oh, we got all this amount of data. And sometimes we as a person, a complicated problem statement to correlate them. There could be a sweet spot in the car on how you use it in a way that we never even thought about. And this is where that kind of collaboration is getting more and more interesting. Can we find a way to operate the car, or to test the car, or to manufacture the car, or to engineer the car in a different way, because that kind of space helps us and try to find it out.
You know, the crazy thing there is you're just talking about manufacturing the car, but when I was at the factory, you also manufacture things like the wheel nut guns.
Oh yeah.
Right? For like, and you hold these wheel nut guns and they're molded specifically to each of the pit engineers' hands. Right? And like, how do you make sure it doesn't jam? And how do you design the lug nut? And like, there's so many pieces you guys are responsible for. Yeah. Like, your job sucks, dude. All right? Like, I mean, if something goes wrong, it's all on you, right?
Yes. And then you put them all together and you want performance and reliability. You don't want a failure track and you want to win. And the race is more than 200 miles and the drivers are also extremely stressed physically. The cars are enormously complicated to drive. And like you say, there are hundreds of pieces, bespoke. I mean, the amount of parts that you can buy in a Formula One car is very close to zero. And you also, sometimes you have to build the tools to produce parts. So it's even more, if you know, I'm trying to say. And you try then again to measure against pressure dimension. You got very narrow bands of utilization, and you scrap a lot. This is something that we are going to explore in the future, how to improve the part of the manufacturing, because the amount of part we scrap is a bit too high, and we operate on a cost cap from the sport perspective. So whatever we can say, we can be better in the process or in the quality. We're saving money. We can use that money in engineering.
Yep.
And loop.
All right, so you have to get to the track. The first practice session starts at 12:30.
We're going.
Right? Well, they're going to kill you if you don't show up. I have one last question.
Right.
Have you ever driven an F1 car?
Driven as you can enjoy it, everybody can do it. To really drive a Formula One car, it's not for normal people.
No.
You can drive slowly, but you can't, even on a pro, you can't brake.
Did you get it out of the garage?
But you can.
I don't think I can get it out of the garage.
It's difficult to brake, it's difficult to turn, it's difficult, gearboxes. This is not, is again, you can fly a small Cessna yourself. Can you drive an F-22? Can you drive a space shuttle?
Well, I mean, for everybody in the room, we have an incredibly lifelike simulator in the back there that has the cockpit. Your feet are up like this.
Oh, yes.
Right? Have them put it on expert settings today. Give it a try. Right?
It's nice.
It's pretty fucking hard.
Even the position is terrifying.
Yeah, I can't really get out of it.
Yeah, you lay in principle. It's like more similar to a bed than to a seat.
And so you, before we got on stage this morning, you were talking about how Adrian is in his office working. How much technology does he use?
Nothing.
And he draws by pencil.
He has a drawing board. Everybody knows it. It's a famous legend, and he doesn't use computer. There's no network. There is no. He is very. I mean, this is great. He's very close to the physics. He can envisage the aerodynamic, the suspension, the tires.
So he uses AI. It's the Adrian intelligence.
Adrian is the eye of the AI.
Yeah.
We are working on the.
Yeah, we're working on the other kind of AI. All right, great. Well, you got to get to the track. Thank you very much for being here.
We are going.
I'm going to the track. You just outed me in front of everybody. All right, I'm sorry. Thank you guys very much for being here. I hope to see some of you this weekend, and have fun today and get in the simulator. Thank you.
Thank you very much.